On July 1st, 1867, Canada became its own country. It took place in Ottawa, and 3 British colonies formed into 4 Canadian provinces. Sir John A. Macdonald was the first Prime Minister. The Battle of Vimy Ridge. First the British had failed, and then the French had failed. Now it was up to the Canadians. The battle went almost right on schedule, and in the end, there were 3,598 dead and 10,602 wounded. It was a great victory that brought the Canadian provinces together as a whole country. It was the first whole Canadian victory. The Treaty of Versailles. It happened on June 28th. This was the treaty to end World War I. It was at this treaty that Canada wanted to sign separately. They signed as their own country, apart from Britain. The League of Nations. This was an intergovernmental organization founded as a result of the Paris Peace Conference. It was the first permanent international organization whose mission was to maintain world peace. Canada joined as their own separate country. Channok Crisis. Channok was a small town on the strait that linked the Aegean and the Black Seas. Turkey threatened to take control of that area, and Britain sent in ships and then asked Canada to help if a war happened. However, for the first time, Canada did not want to be part of a war just because Britain was in one. And Prime Minister King made it very clear that from then on, Canada would make its own foreign policy. Canada and US met together and made an agreement about the fishing season for halibut. Prime Minister King made it very clear that he wanted only representatives from Canada and the US to sign. In the past, Britain had signed for Canada. The King Byng Crisis. Prime Minister King and Governor-General Lord Byng met together. King had a minority, and so he asked Byng to dissolve Parliament so that there could be a new election. Byng refused, and King finally resigned, very angry. Conservative leader, Meehan, formed the new government. But then the Liberals and the Progressives allied to collapse the Conservative government in a vote of non-confidence. There was a new election, and King returned as Prime Minister. This was the last time that a British Governor-General told an elected Prime Minister what to do. The Balfour Report. There was an Imperial Conference Committee under Lord Balfour. They concluded that Canada, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and Ireland were now autonomous communities within the British Empire, equal in status. The Statute of Westminster. This was an Act of Parliament of the United Kingdom. It was passed on December 11th, 1931. It took the conclusions of the Balfour Report and made it law. September 10th, Prime Minister King held a special session of Parliament. He requested that Canada join the Second World War to curb Germany's lust for conquest. Parliament approved, and this was the first time Canadians made their own declaration of war as a nation. On February 15th, Canada finally got their own official flag. As the Speaker of Senate said, "The flag is the symbol of a nation's unity." Various designs of the flag had been used between 1868 and 1965, but this is the one that was finally decided on. The Constitution Act. This act revoked the right of the United Kingdom Parliament to legislate for Canada. It gave equality to French and English languages as well. This act also repatriated the Canadian Constitution back to the Canadians. This means the power to amend the Constitution now rests in Canadian hands, not in the hands of the British Council.